Stephanie Swanberg, Government and Regional Affairs Director for the Tri-City Regional Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to Session Spotlight. This short, business-focused weekly update spotlights legislative happenings in Olympia that are relevant to the Tri-Cities business community. There's a ton to talk about this week, so let's dive right in. Have you heard of the Tri-Cities Legislative Council? It was founded in 1986. The Legislative Council is comprised of representatives from the Tri-City Regional Chamber, TriDec, Visit Tri-Cities, the Pasco, West Richland, and Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. It was formed to demonstrate a united front when promoting Tri-Cities issues and speak with one voice on vital legislative and policy issues. This morning, I met with Jason Herbert, Director of Government Affairs at Energy Northwest and Chair of the Tri-Cities Legislative Council. We discussed legislative priorities and state policies benefiting our region's economic development and growth.
One that I was really excited to see that's been getting some legs is House Bill 1336. This was introduced by Rep. Drew Hansen. It concerns rural broadband. It was actually our top priority. I'd say at least 75% of the meetings that we held before session, rural broadband was the top issue that we heard about. And that was from everything from healthcare to education, especially given the COVID pandemic. Really having access to reliable internet is key for students to be able to learn and businesses in rural communities to be able to operate. So the issue with broadband has been that in the rural areas, a lot of the private telecom providers don't want to go out there. It doesn't make economic sense for them to do it, and so they haven't built out that system. Public utility districts and other public entities have had a willingness to do so, but they haven't had the retail authority to do so. So House Bill 1336 provides them with that retail authority so that you could build out the rest of that broadband system into rural areas. And so it's in committee right now. As you may know, cutoff is next week. So by the 15th, it'll have to get out of committee to have a chance to continue moving. But we feel really good about it. It's supported by the PUDs and a lot of the public entities, the ports and others. And so we're hoping that will move. And then some of the other ones that we've seen, this one is really just more about support for business is House Bill 1368. And that's been advancing really fast through the legislature, allocating the $2.2 billion in federal funding that we received, which would include $75,000 grants for eligible businesses, as well as a total of $240 million in business assistant grants out of that. And that's actually passed through the House and is awaiting final passage in the Senate now.
The full interview can be viewed on YouTube at TCRC of Commerce. Now let's turn our attention to several other bills that will have big impact on local business, especially pertaining to the relief, recovery, and resilience of our local business community. The big news this week is that the state auditor announced a massive data breach, including personal information from about 1.6 million unemployment claims made last year. $600 million in fraudulent claims, delayed checks, and now this. Not a good start to 2021 for the Employment Security Department. To learn more about the data security breach, go to the Washington State Auditor's website at sao.wa.gov. Some good news coming out of Olympia this week is some COVID-19 relief legislation that has passed, House Bill 1368. Like the Unemployment Insurance Bill 5061 from last Friday, the relief legislation will do some good things. But both measures don't do enough to help struggling families and businesses. But it's a good start. House Bill 1321 allows businesses to immediately and safely reopen under Phase 2 guidelines. It's good to see Democrats and Republicans in the legislature working together on this issue. The extended shutdown orders have had a devastating effect on local businesses, and we need to safely get back to business. The Regional Chamber continues to advocate for safe reopening of businesses in our region. 1321 has not had a hearing yet, and 5114 hasn't advanced. But if we hear anything, we will be sure to let you know. Now for our friends in agriculture. We are keeping an eye on several bills. 5172 and Companion Bill 1217 would prohibit courts from awarding retroactive overtime pay when the award creates a substantially inequitable result. It did receive a public hearing in the Senate, but it hasn't advanced. The Chamber opposes 5281 and companion bill 1285, an act that would eliminate the B&O tax exemption for certain fruit and vegetable businesses. No action on this bill has been seen so far. The Chamber supports Bill 5045 as it creates an assistance program for small and mid-sized farms to expand capacity for processing meat for sale. It passed out of the Ag, Water, and Natural Resources Committee and also had a public hearing in Ways and Means. And just when we thought the capital gains tax had died, it has shown up in the House and is scheduled for a public hearing this Thursday, February 11th at 8 a.m. in the Finance Committee. The Regional Chamber has registered to testify in opposition of this bill to allow our state and region to remain competitive. Your advocacy on this issue would be very helpful. Well, it doesn't look like the low carbon fuel standard bill is going away. 1091 directs the Department of Ecology to adopt rules to reduce the carbon intensity of transportation fuel. This measure will have a substantial impact on the price of gasoline, and none of the revenue generated from this increased price will be allocated to lowering greenhouse gas. The price of gas will already be increasing if, or most likely when, a transportation package is passed. We will dive into those packages in the coming weeks on Session Spotlight. 1091 passed out of the Environment and Energy Committee and now is expected to be execed out of appropriations this afternoon. The Chamber opposes this bill and will keep you posted on additional opportunities for advocacy in the Senate. There are many opportunities for advocacy this week. Now let's take a look of how you can advocate for bills via remote testimony in public hearings on business-related bills this week. As we head into the 6th week of session, the Tri-City Regional Chamber of Commerce will continue to be your voice for business and help keep you informed and connected. Thanks again for watching the Tri-City Regional Chamber's Session Spotlight. If you have any information on bills that you'd like to see me include in next week's session, please let me know. And help us spread the word about Session Spotlight by sharing and liking this on Facebook. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.